Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents some Grand Slam wrestling for you. And on this 11th week, I have the graphic incorrect, but that's par for the course for me as of late. We have Dory Funk Jr. heading into Portland to battle Roddy Piper for the World Heavyweight Championship of GSW. And a pleasant March 10th of 2021 to you all, or whatever day it is when you see this. I am Big Polly. So we are 2 weeks away from Grapple Fest, week 13. That'll be held at the Kingdome in Seattle. I know the Kingdome got demolished many years ago, but in the windmills of our minds, it is still alive. And this is kind of a time travel deal anyway. So we have Funk, still the world champion. He has been world champion for now 4 weeks, defeating Jim Lundos for the crown. I believe it was in St. Louis he won the title. And but the bottom line is he is still the world champ, and today he's got the hometown fan favorite, Roddy Piper. Probably one of the greatest grapplers never to win the world championship in his career. He came close in the WWF in the 80s and came close in WCW in the late 90s, but he has never procured the heavyweight championship of the world. So in 2 weeks we'll have Grapple Fest for you. We'll go over that card next week. It is still being finalized. And if you will just forgive me for a moment because I forgot to update one of the championships that I am about to show you. This seems to happen when I do Grand Slam wrestling. I'm so eager to go that I forget to update the graphics sometimes and to check for errors. But here we go. Here is the Champions Roll Call as it stands right now. And we have a change in the North American Championship. Actually, the title has changed twice in 2 cards. Andre the Giant came in as the North American champ, but Ray Stevens, for the second time in GSW history, beat Andre for the title, busting him open early and landing a series of knee drops until Andre was just flat out unconscious. And we will go over what happened to make Dick Daviscourt, the Depression-era grappler, the North American champion, as we run down this card, because that match just happened. And the Atlantic Championships and the Pacific Championships will be decided next week when GSW visits London for the Atlantic Championships and Tokyo for the Pacific Championships. So with that in mind, let's go to our main event. Well, we'll go to our main event in just a moment. But let's run down what has already happened on the card in Portland, Oregon. Ed Don George, another Depression-era grappler who was in the Olympics in 1928. I believe that was in Amsterdam. He went up against Stan Hansen, but Hansen prevailed and won with a snap suplex at 27-15. It was Blackjack Mulligan over the smaller Tony Charles. So Tony Charles will be looking for another territory to call home, as will Ed Don George. Mulligan won with a pin in just under 19 minutes with the claw hold. Toshiaki Kawada over Rocky Johnson. Johnson a bloody mess as Kawada pins him in 12-13. Dutch Savage, the local star, has been doing quite nicely as of late, and he beat, by countout, Gene Kaniski to wrap up the first half of the card. Then we went to an intermission. The vendors sold beer and popcorn and probably a few other things. And then we came back for the tag team match between the Sheepherders and the Southern Rockers. And the Sheepherders, who are looking like they're going to get a title shot of some kind at Grapple Fest 4, they win over the Rockers in 26-48, but don't let the time fool you. The Sheepherders were very dominant. Eddie Gilbert, rumors continue to fly that he will be the financial backer of a new territory when we get started into the second quarter of year 4, which will be we'll have the quarter-long Monarch of the Mat tournament to look forward in the second quarter, and we'll have bonus matches from that. He went up against Kevin Von Erich. Stan Hansen interfered with Kevin Von Erich, claiming that Von Erich was not a true Texan. He was born in New York State. Kevin wins by DQ at 24:08, and just within the last few minutes, we completed our semi-main event. Ray Stevens losing the championship he just acquired. Pat Patterson was in his corner, his fellow blonde bomber, and it was Daviscourt by pin. Win as a new champ. 29 seconds is all it took. Patterson induced a chair into the ring. Davis Court kicked Patterson. The chair broke loose from his grasp, and Davis Court whacked Stevens for it, and that was all she wrote. So that brings us to our main event. Roddy Piper, Dory Funk Jr. Can Piper wrest the championship away from the Funker? Trade holds are no-go. So let's see what we shall see in this match. As I bring over the graphic and show you that Funk should win the championship match, says the computer. Piper just turned babyface upon arriving in the Portland territory. And again, I should just leave it there and go full screen. And this is a 1-fall 60-minute time limit match, so Piper has 60 minutes to try to get a pin or a submission before any other result should happen. And off we go. Ring the bell. A lot of fans hoping that Piper will walk away world champion. And we start with an illegal eye gouge. Even when he was a fan favorite, Piper liked to use the dirty moves. And he scores the first points, and that's 5 points off of damage for Funk. We begin with 0, and we work our way in deeper into negative territory. Funk's stamina is a 75-4, and Piper's is a 67-5. So every time Piper loses 67 points, his pin ratings are going to go up 5 points. Illegal punches by Piper, and that's more points off for Funk. Headlock by Piper, and Junior has now surrendered the first 3 moves, and we are 52 seconds into this world title match. Pinhold, countered by Funk, so Funk not losing anything in terms of craftiness here. Funk in his title matches is 3-0-1. He got a double DQ with Jim Lundos in a rematch after Funk beat Lundos for the championship. Disqualified check, possible DQ is stopped. As a face, Piper has only had 1 match. It was a double countout with Dick Davis Court. Punches for Funk, and that's the first 5 points off of Piper's stamina. Cut on the nose of Piper, right by the bridge of the nose, and that's 11 points off for cuts. And Funk defending the title here. It's a defend the title match, meaning he'll use heel tactics and try to keep the title around his waist. Illegal punches by the Funker, 5 more points off. Illegal forearm by Funk Jr. Auto control loss, a body slam by Piper. So Piper now closing in on losing a stamina level. Jr. has a little ways to go. Suplex by Funk Jr., and that rattles the vertebrae of Piper's back, 10 points off. -5 are illegal punches here. So Funk Jr. finally getting with it. We're 409. And I don't mean the car that the Beach Boys sang about. Into this bout. Headlock by Funk, 6 more points off of Piper's stamina. And a counter, and now Piper back in control. Specialty move for an object, but Funk Jr. saw that coming. A body slam by Jr. Punches by Jr. And Piper has already lost the stamina level at 550 into this bout. No action. A suplex attempt by Piper, countered by Jr. Specialty move, spinning toe hold. But you're not going to get Funk this early on a submission. Auto control loss, back over to Piper. Piper loses it back to the Junior. Junior loses it to Piper on a counter. So back and forth we go. Low blow. No pin. And that was Piper attempting a pin. So no action. Some auto control losses going back and forth. Spinning toe hold. Countered by the Piper. Punches. And that's 6 points off of Piper's stamina. Legal knee against the champion, but knee to the forehead, but Funk will easily kick out of that. Figure he's going to be a tough out until somebody beats him. He's scheduled to face Danny Hodge at Grapplefest 4, as Hodge is considered to be one of the top contenders for the World Championship after a lengthy run as junior heavyweight champ. Pinhold countered, body slam countered, ropes move countered. Funk in control. Piper leaves the ring to go after Junior. Junior is ready and nails him with a chair shot. 30 more points lost, and now Piper about to lose another stamina level. Leg hold by Junior. Piper being a little too impulsive here. Disqualification possible. Punches used by Junior. And now Funk has had Piper drop a stamina level, and now he has dropped 2, and Funk hasn't lost any yet, I do believe. Spinning toe hold. You're not going to get Piper on a submission even at this stage. Headlock by Junior. Pin hold by Junior. And a pull of the tights for leverage, I think I saw. No pin. So early in this match, we've only had 3 pin attempts. 2 of them have been by Piper, but they haven't been high percentage probable pins. Especially moved the butterfly suplex, but the ref this time caught the attempt of an illegal pin there, and the match goes on. No action. Legal chop. No pin, but it's another pin attempt for Funk Jr., who actually they're not going to score that as a pin attempt. It should show up. No, it does show up now. Body slams, or 2 even on pin attempts. Body slam by the challenger. Side headlock by the challenger. Legal whip to the ropes by Piper. 6 more points off. Now Funk closing in on losing a stamina level. Legal forearm by Piper. So he's put a string of moves here together. We are now 17 minutes into this World Championship bout. Chair shot by Piper. And Funk only loses 15 points for that, and he has now dropped the stamina level. So by my count, unofficial count, Piper has lost 2 levels, and now Funk Jr. has lost 1. Legal choking countered by the champion. A legal throat chop by the champion. That was countered by the challenger. Chopped to the midsection by Piper. No pin. Legal choking by Piper. Kick by Piper. Ropes move by Piper. Flying leg drop. No pin there. Bear hug by Junior. Not going to get a submission, although his numbers are going up for that probability. No action. Illegal knee by the challenger. No pin. Sleeper hold. But no submission there. Again, just like Piper, you're not going to get an easy submission on the champ. Neckbreaker countered. Suplex attempt. Scores, and that's 10 more points off. And now Piper closing in on his 3rd stamina hit. I think. Legal punches by the champ were countered. Possible DQ stopped. Figure 4 by the challenger. But you're not going to get a submission there. Elbow drop across the chest of Piper. And Piper continues to expand, presses energy, trying to defend himself. He has lost another stamina level. And now this is a 40-14 roll. So this has about a 35% chance of success, but not to be. Legal forearm by Funk. Suplex attempt countered, and now the challenger back in control. The challenger's got to make something happen here. And a series of stomps on the champion, who sprawled out on the arena floor. Loss of 15 points, and now Funk Jr. closing in on losing his 2nd stamina level. In fact, it has happened now with illegal punches by Piper. So the champion having to work here. Strategy card used and countered. Legal choking. Suplex attempt. And no pin there. A lot of things would have had to have gone right to score a pin in that situation. So by my count, Piper has lost 3 stamina levels, and now Funk Jr. has lost 2. Eye poke by Piper. Coming up on the halfway mark of the bout. Abdominal stretch. So yet again, my neighbors pick the time when I'm recording to start making noise. There's a lot to be said about the 5 o'clock club in some places where you live in this country. Okay, standing abdominal stretch, illegal punches, submission move. Nope, no submission there. And an auto control loss, it goes back to the champ. Champ now could be closing in on a win. Piper has a minor cut on the bridge of the nose, or right around that area, a supplé, and it's 10 more points lost. I do believe Piper has lost yet another stamina level. Arm holds by the challenger. Punches used by Piper. Legal headbutt by Piper. Scores. Auto control loss back. And back to the challenger. Arm holds used by the challenger. We're now past the halfway point. Legal arm hold by the challenger. Legal whip to the ropes by the challenger. So he's piling up some moves here. Damage is 209 off for Funk and 221 off for Piper. Legal arm hold by the champ. Pin holds. Roll up, no pin. Kick countered. Pin holds countered. Back to the champion. Legal leg hold. And a counter. Now Piper back in control. Figure 4, but that should not earn the submission. No action. Legal whip to the ropes. Submission move. Specialty move. Neck breaker. And almost got the 3 count there. He got a 5 on the third pin roll. A 1 would have gotten the title change. So on we go. Throat chop by Funk. And Funk's using the ropes for leverage, but it does not get past the 1 count. And Funk Jr. has now lost another stamina level. We're 36-40 into the bout. A counter. Chair shot to the face by Piper. That'll have an impact move. Kick to the chest by the challenger. Running knee by the challenger. So he's putting moves together, and now he has the... Funk Jr. is now behind in terms of damage. It's 247 off of Piper and 251 off of Jr. Series of punches. Could Piper be getting a second win here? 37-42. Now 38-03 gone by in the match. Disqualified check. Both men cautioned for some foul play. Auto control loss. Another auto control loss. And double throat chop. That does not score the pin. So we're now closing in on 40 minutes. Another auto control loss. A legal neck hold by Piper. Piper about to lose another stamina level. 40 minutes gone by. Eye gouge by Piper. Standing headlock. So Piper trying to gain his composure here a little bit. We're now more than 41 into this bout. 41-60. And legal throat chop countered by Jr., the champion. Legal forearm by Jr. And it looks like Funk has forced Piper to lose another stamina level with some speed moves. Oh no, he's just about there. He's 4 points away. And in fact, he hits another stamina level. So Piper is very winded now. As Dory blasting away with some punches. Pin hold. No pin there. Could Piper hold on and get a draw here? Which wouldn't hurt his cause any. Eye gouge by Piper. No action. Legal choking by Dory Funk Jr. Legal forearm. No action. Piper tried for a body slam. It was countered. A legal knee by Jr. Submission move. No pin. We're now past the 45-minute mark. Submission move. which does not earn a submission roll. Legal throat chop by the challenger. So this has been a very entertaining bout. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets at least 4 stars. Arm hold by Piper, but he's got to hurry now. He's running up against time. Less than 13 minutes left. Legal punches, no pin. Legal turnbuckle move by Piper. The damage control lead going back and forth between these two. As we now are at the 48-minute mark. Arm hold by Piper. Piper with a sunset flip, but no pinning predicament, so Funk was able to get out of that right away. Ropes move. No pin. Dory Funk Jr.'s lost another stamina level. I've lost track of how many he has lost. I think he's up around 4 or 5. Side headlock takedown, no pin. And both men getting tired as they stumble into the ropes and have to be unentangled. No action. Legal turnbuckle move by Piper, no pin. If I remember correctly, Dory Funk won the championship about 51 minutes into his match with Jim Londos. We're almost at that point now. And Piper jumped off the ring apron and landed on Funk on the arena floor. Pin hold. And no pin. Figure 4. That's not going to get a gain of submission. Forearm shot by the champion. Legal whip to the ropes. Use of the ropes for leverage. No pin. After a body slam. 52-33 into this bout. Nothing happening. Body slam by Funk Jr. He's going to try again. This time he gets him. So that's a retention of the title for Dory Funk. So he moves a step closer to Grapple Fest and a meeting with Danny Hodge. He'll go into the international combine next week, so he'll either be in London, San Juan, Mexico City, or Tokyo. We don't know exactly where he will go yet. And this was a 5-star bout, so I was right in thinking this would be at least 4 stars. So Funk Jr. retaining with a body slam. And the time of the bout was 53-24. Stamina levels, the final stamina levels, 344 off of the champion, 332 off of Piper. 53-24 was the time. Funk will pick up 2 ratings points since he was facing a man 22 points inferior to him. So he doesn't pick up the full 4 points. He will pick up 2, which means Piper only loses 2. Piper probably will be on the undercard at Grapplefest, I would think. And we'll see how that plays out. So Piper, a very valiant effort, but not to be. And it was 344 off of Funk, 332 off of Piper, as I've already said. I'm repeating it because I'm writing it. It was a 5-star match. So that's it, folks. We'll catch you again next week on the GSW Match of the Week. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Wishing you all well, Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon, and bye-bye for now, everybody.